What is going on? I am Cole. Welcome back to my channel, and I'm going to talk today about my most anticipated comics for November 2nd, 2022. I know that normally I try and get this video out on Fridays. Sometimes it comes out on Saturdays. It is already Tuesday. Tomorrow is New Comic Book Day. So I wanted to make sure that I got this out just in case. I know that, certain people, they just want to, some people want to know what am I looking forward to? So I thought I would figure I'd still try and get this out. So it is a little random of when the time is, but hey, it is still here nonetheless. So for those of you who have been here before, one of the things that I like to always say is that I usually find my information on League of Comic Geeks. As you can see, you can go through, see what books are here, and kind of know what's going on. It'll kind of show you, you can make a pull list if you want. But the one thing I like to always say is that sometimes the site is a little bit off, unfortunately. So not all the time is everything that you see here going to be what is coming out. So if I end up picking something and it's not at your shop, that is the reason why. But I do have some people here live in the chat. So hello, Las Cruces, and welcome. And hopefully New Mexico is very nice right now. And pull list examiner, hey, welcome. And hopefully the other side of the state is nice for you tonight. I just cracked open a Coca-Cola because it's Tuesday and I'm drinking a Coca-Cola. But hey, you guys came here not to hear me talk about Coca-Cola, but to figure out what books that I'm going to talk about. So this first one is it's very unlikely that you're not going to hear me talk about it when it comes out, and that is That Texas Blood. This is issue number 19. This is by far one of my favorite books. It's funny, I recently did a show on Thursdays. I'm going to try and maybe do it monthly with 22 comics, and I was kind of talking about this because this is kind of one of those books where this new arc, That Texas Blood is a crime book, through and through. It is a crime book. It is about a small town detective, and it's kind of been his life story, and it goes through. But I was saying that this arc, the serial killer, makes this almost more of like a horror book, right? So it does have some horror aspects to it, that it's kind of, I think the hard thing for me sometimes is that when you're watching certain things, when it comes to some of these books, especially like serial killers, I guess you kind of get sometimes with that. Um, but yeah, the hard thing is, yeah. Sorry, what I was going to try and say is that certain times serial killers pretty much are similar to like slashers and stuff like that. So that's kind of what this is. And it does kind of bring in some horror elements. It is also taking place in the snow, which I kind of love that, like, winter snow vibe for horror books. It's very cool. This is written by Chris Condon, and the artist is Jacob Phillips. And I've been loving everything about this. So I would say that number 19 is definitely not a good starting off point. But if you're here for the first time and you're hearing me talk about this book, I highly recommend at least getting that first trade because it is for sure worth getting. So my next book up is Gotham City Year One, number two. This is from Tom King. I'm a huge Tom King fan. I know that a lot of people are kind of either hit or miss with Tom King. From what I've heard with most people on this one, most people seem to like this one a little bit more than some of his other stuff. I think when I first talked about this, I mentioned thinking that this might be, kind of a more based on like the Gotham City Police Department, and it's definitely not that. This is about the Wayne family, and some of the early years. One of the things that I kind of did not really like about this, though, was there was a last panel, and I don't want to ruin that for anyone, but if you've already read Gotham City Year One, issue number one, let me know down below what your thoughts were on that last panel. I don't know how exactly this is going to play into the lure of Gotham City, but there was one thing in that that I really didn't like, and maybe try not to, go about what that last panel was, but you can either tell me if you liked it, why you liked it, or why you didn't like it. That way, if people are reading the comments, they don't get surprised by that because I don't really want to ruin that. I don't know that it's even that huge of a deal. Who knows? We might not even see that again. It was just one of those things, I guess, I was not expected to see. And I did. And yeah, I was a little bit taken aback when I first saw that. So, number three for this week is going to be Night of the Ghoul, number two. Um, This is from Scott Snyder, and I really like this. It's artist Francisco Francavilla, and I really love this first issue. This is actually the last book that I think that I've read. And yeah, and it's opposed to saying, yeah, they kind of seem like more of a mafia family in that issue. Yeah, which I definitely thought, and that seemed a little bit weird. But you've kind of always had these iterations of that. But uh, Night of the Ghoul is one of Scott Snyder ended up coming out with like three horror books that were all released on Comixology, all within the same month. This was the one that I read the first issue and I really enjoyed, and it is the only one of those books that I decided to pull the physical issues. I think I only read the first and maybe the second issue of this, but they were released on Comixology, I want to say 6 months ago. I've already forgotten the plot of this, so I'm excited to kind of relive this. I just finished the first issue, and I'm excited to tear into this. And it will probably be one of the first books that I end up going and reading, I think. Because, yeah, overall, I think that this is a solid horror movie. It's kind of based off this, they find this film that was never finished and never released. They go to the maker of the film to kind of see what happens, and a bunch of crazy horror stuff happens from there. So this is easily, I think it was the most horror book of all of the books that he released, but they were all kind of in themselves supposed to be sort of horror-y. So for book number 4, I think some people are maybe going to be upset with this pick, but that's okay. This is a number 1, and it is Orc Island. And you know what's coming back? Bad Idea. A lot of people, "Oh, this is very interesting." Never mind, sorry, I definitely had the wrong thing. This is Bad Idea. This is coming from, Joshua Dysart and, Alberto Panicelli, so once again, sorry if I mispronounce those names, but I've loved pretty much everything from, Bad Idea. I mean, there were some books that I didn't necessarily like as much as some of the other books, but I think everything that they released was a solid comic book. I know a lot of people hated their marketing. I know a lot of shops hated the way that they had to interact with them as a company to really get these books going. And that definitely is not my favorite part about this company, but they're so weird. Stuff's such, odd. I think there's supposed to be another book coming out from them, but they only showed Orc Island on League of Comic Geeks. I think the other one was called like Escape from Wyoming. So who knows? Maybe we're having two Bad Idea books. I usually only check this, and sometimes it doesn't always give me the right information, as I have mentioned. But hey, we could have two Bad Idea books. So I would just say if you did not know the Bad Idea stuff was coming out, and you can get to Bad Idea, or you can get Bad Idea at your shop, try and go a little early if you have the ability to, and maybe you can get one of those pins if that is something that interests you. I still have one from, I forget which book I got it in, but yeah. Hey, welcome, Shop for Comics. How is it going? I'm just going over some of the books that I'm excited to see. This is the fourth pick, and it is Orc Island from Bad Ideas. Um, the next book I want to get to. So if TM Nerdy shows up, or Travis shows up, this one's shout out to him because I think he would like this book. And this is Quick Stop number 1. This is from a Dark Horse comic. It's written by Kevin Smith. And yeah, I really like some of the stuff that I've read from Kevin Smith. This, looks to be some Jay and Silent Bob type stuff. And it's apparently in the Arrowverse. Is that what it's saying? Or am I just an idiot? What does that say? No, never mind. The Askew verse. Okay. Yeah, I'm an idiot. So I'm excited to check this out. I've read a few of the Blunt Man and Chronic stuff, but not too many of the other books. Usually Dark Horse has released some solid stuff. So here, just add this. If my shop has it, I didn't specifically pull this book. But yeah, if my shop has this, I'm going to grab it. And once again, it kind of looks like maybe I'm losing some signal strength. So if I'm cutting in and out, I am sorry about that. But hey, sometimes you just got to keep going. Oh, it looks like maybe just the imaging isn't as good. But hey, that is okay. The next book. So these next two, I've gone over the main 5 books that I'm reading about. But the next 2 books are books that are coming out that are both number 1s. And I kind of want to know what people's thoughts are. I'm not really interested in either of these books, but I just want to know what people think and if they think that I should get these books based on who's coming out and who's writing them. So the first one is going to be Deadpool number 1. I think that Deadpool hasn't had an ongoing for I don't even know how long, but it looks like Alyssa Wong is going to be writing this with artist Martin Cocchetto, which I feel like I've heard that name. I think maybe Bruce from Bruce and Stephanie Comics has talked about them. I think maybe they were in Daredevil, but I could be wrong. If you know what they've been doing, let me know. But this is a book that I've heard a lot of people talk about. It's been a while since we've gotten a Deadpool book. I've never really been a huge Deadpool fan in comics. I just think that he's one of the few characters that maybe resonates better in TV because his fourth wall breaking style of comedy for me fits a little bit better in there. But just figured I'd check out what everyone thinks because this is one of those books that, a lot of people are interested in. So if this is one that you're interested in, let me know. The next book up, we've got Batman and the Joker, The Deadly Duo. Um, this is another book that I would really not probably normally get, but I don't know. There's something about it that makes me feel like, hey, you know what? Maybe I should get this book. I think that this could be, um, this could be something that could be good, but I've been trying not to buy any Batman books that aren't Batman written by Tom King or Detective Comics. So it's kind of hard to try and not break that rule, but I just want to know, what does everyone else think about Batman and the Joker, the deadly duo? So that's kind of been it. Let me just kind of go over again what my top five were going to be, and that is That Texas Blood, number 19. We've got Gotham City, year one, issue number two. We've got Night of the Ghoul, number two. We've got Orc Island at number one from Bad Idea Comics, and Quick Stop. But also, let me know if you think that Deadpool or Batman and the Joker Deadly Duo is something worth checking out. I'll go and maybe I'll consider grabbing one of those if people think that it is worth getting. So, everyone that was here tonight with me, thank you so much for being a part of my live stream. I just wanted to kind of quick get out a video, and normally I try and keep this like under 10 minutes. So, I'm going to go on a little bit longer, but thank you for being here. Everyone who has came back and watched the rewind, thank you for that. Let me know, what are you looking most forward to this new comic book day, whether it be just a cover, a book because you love the story, or anything. Let me know down below in the in the comments. And yeah, I'll check you out. And hopefully everyone has a great new comic book day tomorrow. As always, I have been Cole. Thank you for stopping by my channel, and peace.